mentioned earlier that you were able to reconnect with our friend Dawn Richard, right? And she has come out with her own lawsuit against Diddy, where she details many instances of sexual assault and battery during her time where she was working with the mogul. What's your reaction to this news?
My first reaction was just heartbreak. I literally, I sent her a text message and just said, I'm praying for you and for peace around you at this time, because I can't imagine how difficult doing something like that is. Reckoning with something like what she's saying is, especially in a world that don't give a fuck about Black women, that don't believe us, that don't want to hear from us. And again, especially when we are going up against, the giants of, or what people consider the giants of our world. So what she had to be going through to get to a point where she says, yes, it is time for me to speak my truth and deal with this. It's something I wouldn't wish on anybody, but especially not somebody I care about. Yeah. And if you remember the things I said about who Dawn was when I knew her and how she showed up in the world, there is nothing. I don't want to act like I could speak to the things that happened with or for or to her after we were separated after that show. I can't speak to her character. Mm-hmm. And the idea of her making things up, lying, it ain't in her from who I know. And so that's the other piece, is the little bit of connection I've had with this person. Absolutely, for me, leaves no doubt that the things that she's saying she saw and experienced are true. And that's based on like I said, my own experiences with this woman. I cannot imagine how difficult it was for her to come and speak this truth. And then to find out that what's the other girl's name? I can't remember her name. Kalenna. When that message came, that like, I don't want to speak about anybody else's truth, but this ain't my truth. They had Diddy written all over it. I knew before the feds came and said he called us 79,000 times in a day, that like, why you even feel like you got to put out a statement? That for me was like, oh, dang, they got the girl hemmed up. That's what I said in my mind. I said, as soon as this came out, they said, well, where the partner? Let's get the partner as soon as we can to try to discredit that woman. It didn't do anything in my mind to discredit Dawn. Again, based on what I know about Dawn and her character. And it just didn't feel right. It didn't seem right. It didn't seem genuine to me. And so then to have, the feds be like, yeah, he called her all these times. It's like, damn, he's putting fear in people's hearts for real and can really cause people harm. And so when I say I'm praying for Dawn's protection, yes, and for peace, yes, I want her to, I don't care what happens with the lawsuit. I want her to find healing, and yes, I want her to be safe. I want her to stay safe in the face of this brave thing that she has done, because it's not safe. It's scary. It's not safe. Cassie ain't safe. I don't care what nobody say. She, like, you just don't know. And I do believe that Diddy has reached a level of being demented. And so, yeah, I pray for her safety and her protection, that she's able to get through this and find some real healing. Yes. In all of this. That's what I want for her.
Dawn follows me on Twitter. She interacted with me years ago in college, and supported some music I had done, retweeted it and whatnot. We've never spoken, but she still follows me and whatnot. And I've been abreast in her career as she's traversed through, of course, meeting her at MTV, seeing her on Danity Kane, then going to Diddy Dirty Money. And I kept up with her as she, she did her own music, and going through her different eras. And Dawn has amazing music, amazing visuals, amazing sounds. But just following her journey and just listening to interviews and hearing her talk and whatnot, and to see this, I'm just like, I just want Dawn, like you said, Dominique, to find healing, I've never met this woman. I've never interacted with her. I just don't get the sense that Dawn is out here lying to get money, I just don't feel that. Like, and again, I've never met her, and I don't know her. I've never hugged her. I've never felt her energy. But I just don't think Dawn is out here lying to this extent with this type of high profile case. And then it's like, I I feel like she got validated because Diddy, why would you feel the need to call Kalenna 79 1,000 million times, you know?
You sit back and let people show up as who they are. That's what it is. And it's gonna come out.
Kalenna, and you know, I don't know what her reasoning is. I don't know. I'm at home watching like everybody else is, but it's Kalenna, you a woman. You a black woman in this industry who's also had problems. Let's just say in her heart of hearts is fuck Dawn. You know, like fuck her. I don't like her, whatever. Why even get on the internet in this type of conversation? I'm so curious to know, how did Kalenna rationalize? Like, was it the money? Like, did she get some money? Like, how does she rationalize jumping out in the middle of the street in this Diddy hailstorm, tsunami that's going on, and discredit this fellow black woman like her who says he has assaulted me when he's proven himself to be a liar?
My best guess is safety. That's what I'll say. That's my best guess. When, especially in hearing that he reached out to her as much as he did, you know, I did Making a Band 19 years ago. I am now a wife and a mother of 2 going on 3 daughters. Who's to say what I would do if Diddy reached, if I had seen or heard things I shouldn't have, and my partner in crime on the show came out, my person came out, if Diddy calls and threatens me, am I gonna go against them? Like, that's am I gonna scary. Put, you know what I mean? But that's what I mean when I say people judging when they don't understand the depths of where the kind of power and money that this man has had access to. How we know from being sitting in a prison cell he can't get Kalenna, you know, harmed. Like, that's the thing. When I think about it, if it's between my babies, Nola and Naila and Dawn, it's not really a question, right? And my hope, my prayer, sad prayer, is that is the only thing that would have put her in a position to say, damn, let me go ahead and do this thing. You know, maybe she could contacted Dawn on the low and said, look, girl, I'm in danger, girl. You know, like on Ghost where she said, Molly, you in danger, girl. I'm just saying, maybe I hope that is the only reason that she could have or would have done something like that. And I pray for her safety as well. And I mean that. Baby, I pray for my safety. Because Oliver, you reaching the world, baby. I'm speaking big things for you.
I appreciate
so us sitting here talking about this, it ain't just no little small podcast. Like, you out here and I see you really glowing up. And so, baby, we got to stay safe too. Is all I'm saying.
Have to. No, we really have to. And y'all know I'm spiritual. Y'all know I love the Lord, right? It's like, you know, sometimes we pray for so many things. We pray for access. We pray for the validation of someone like a Diddy. We pray, you know, I'm on the show Making the Band. I want Diddy to hire me. I want him to accept me. I want to be on the stage. I want to sing. I want to get all this. And then we see people like our friends Dawn, like Aubrey, you know, because she has a story, she has experiences, like all these people now saying, I got this thing that millions of people want, would die for, would kill for. And it has left me now in an abused, used, tattered, broken place, you know? And we really have to be, I'm looking at this Diddy stuff and I'm finding myself saying, you know, Lord, thank you for protecting me, because I don't know what's on the other side of that curtain. I don't know what's on the other side of that meeting. I don't know what's on the other side of that phone call, that me wanting something so bad and thinking this is the way to get it. And all the while, God, the energy, the universe, whoever you believe in, is shielding you from so many unseen dangers, you know?
Because that's how I know I'm here. I know, you know, it was something I wanted my whole life. I grew up in the Bronx. I grew up idolizing Bad Boys, Mary J. Like, you know, that all of them, Uptown, that was my, so to get in that proximity, I could have never guessed in a million years that I would have even been in that proximity. And I'm just grateful for God's guidance that led to all the things that pulled me away from that situation. I really am, because I was only 20.
You were a child.
19. I was only 20.
A child. Right? 18 is not grown. 19 is not grown. 21 is not grown. You know?
And so I'm grateful to God And, you know, one thing I think about are, one, the victims who are no longer here, who we'll never, ever hear from, and the victims who are still alive, who we'll never, ever hear from. You know, I think about the cases that keep coming out and the kind of access that these folks have to be able to be in a position to speak up and speak out. And right? Like, how many New York City girls was at a little party and went right back to their hood after getting raped or getting whatever, and whole lives have been ruined. Now they're addicted to drugs. Now they're deceased. Now they're, right? Like, now they have no credibility within their own families because they held this secret, or nobody believed them at their own level in life. And nobody's checking for them.
No.
Because if we got celebrities who were victims and famous people, imagine what I would imagine Diddy considering the throwaways.
Jesus.
Just saying, it's real. We're talking about a span of more than 30 years.
More than 30 years with endless amounts of money, access, and power.
Mm-hmm.